Good morning, Lighthouse. Welcome home, everyone. Welcome, everyone online. It's good to see everyone here today. This weekend, we have the Women's Fellowship and Brunch on Saturday. That's at 11 a.m. We usually have like breakfasty snack items or brunch items and some tea. Come visit with the women. Bring a friend if you want, and just enjoy the company of the women and learn more about each other and fellowship with your sisters. And that is this Saturday at 11. Also on Saturday, we have Praise in the Park, and that is in Fulton at Veterans Park, not the one by the roundabout, the other one that we used to call the Orange Park. And there's an amphitheater there, and there will be Praise in the Park there at 6 p.m. If you would like to give a testimony or read a verse, I encourage you to come out and share that with everyone. So I encourage you to come out to Praise in the Park. We'd like to see more people come than we do have, so try to make plans just to come out, even if it's just for an hour, and visit with everyone and do some worship music. So our big event that we have coming up is our Friends and Family Camp. And that is September 19th, 20th, and 21st, so here in a couple weeks. On the Friday night, the 19th, we're going to have worship and testimonies here in the church. I encourage you to come out for that. And then Saturday, we're going to do a hot dog lunch starting at noon, and then just games and different activities throughout the day. And we'll finish Saturday off with a carry-in dinner. And then after the dinner, we're going to have a newlywed game. So I encourage you to come out for that. And I'm sure those that are putting on the newlywed game will be coming up with some good questions and figuring out which couples they want to have in this game. And it's usually a lot of fun for everyone. Today was the deadline to turn in like any photos and memorabilia for the family camp for our 20th anniversary. So if you have anything and didn't bring it, please let us know and we'll get that incorporated in. But we kind of wanted to get it by today so we can have everything organized and ready for family camp. On Sunday of family camp, we're going to kind of have a memory of over the last 20 years of the Lighthouse. And we'll have all those memorabilia and the pictures out during family camp for everyone to see. And there's more information in our bulletin. If you don't have one, they're located by the offering box by the door. Today after church, the men are going fishing with David. No, it's canceled. Okay, we have an update. I'm sorry. That makes my verse not work today.
No. So I'll be very transparent with everybody. So a couple years ago, in my active addiction, I got a poaching charge. So I can't get a fishing license for 5 years. And then another thing. So in my active addiction, my family didn't want me around. So last Tuesday, I got invited to something, my family reunion, which I have not been invited to a long time. And that happens to be today, too. So if everybody would not be too terribly mad at me, if we could do something with us men later on, because I would love to be with my family. I haven't been with them in a long time. As long as everybody's okay with that, I would love to be able to do that. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. That is a good step. All right, so ignore the first thing about the fishing. All right, we'll plan something. We have Soup and Carols coming up in December, and we are collecting small prizes for girls and boys, young adults. Nothing very expensive, if you can find some things on clearance or anything like that. And we have a tub back here by the bulletin board that you can drop those in during Soup and Carols. We're going to have auctions, items that we usually have, so be thinking about things you might donate for that. We're going to have a kids table that is just for the kids to vote, to bid on, because they always seem to get overridden by the adults on the rest of the items. So be thinking about that, and we'll have more information about that to come. I think that is most of the announcements. Oh, we got another one.
So as you all know, there's a very special couple getting married this Friday. So on Wednesday during family night, we are asking any and anybody that is able-bodied to come and help with getting the church cleaned up, so it's all spotless and ready to go for the ceremony. So all hands on deck. If you can come, please come. We're providing spaghetti Wednesday night to eat, so come on out. It starts at 6 o'clock. So. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes, there's a carry-in for the wedding, too, so.
All right, so that is this Wednesday during family night, which starts at 6. They're going to clean the church, and they're going to provide dinner. If you want to bring anything to go with that, like bread or maybe even some spaghetti, please bring that in with you. And then the wedding is on Friday, and that's carry-in with things to go with hamburger and hot dogs, that kind of thing. At 4 o'clock here at the church. And congratulations. All right, so my verse today was with the men in mind, but it's still a good verse. And it's Matthew 17, verse 27, and it's actually about taxes, and they were asking Jesus why they had to pay taxes. And they determined that it's just, you pay taxes, you give to the others. And Jesus said, "But so we don't offend them, go to the sea, cast in a fish hook, and take the first fish that you catch. When you open its mouth, you will find a coin. Take that coin and give it to them from me and you." So I was going to tie that in, that maybe they'd find a coin and they could put it in the offering box. But Jesus is always there for us. And yes, we pay taxes and we do things that we don't like to do. But it all circles around and comes back to him, and everything is for his glory. So I know we all struggle with paying bills and everything, but he's there to calm your nerves, to help you and get you through those times. And when you give everything to him, your heart and your soul, things get easier. So just remember that. And we have lots of people here who are living proof of what Jesus can do in your life. And with that, we will get into some worship.
Lighthouse, how are you guys doing this morning? All right, as you can see, things look a little different up here today. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is pray for our worship service this morning. I want you to pray for the message that's going to be given this morning. And if we could pray that the Holy Spirit join us this morning. We're going to start off in a vulnerable place. It's not, it wasn't on the plan, but last minute, Holy Spirit said we're going to do Run to the Father first. To create an atmosphere of what we need to do in obedience and running to the Father. And there's a part in this song where it says, "My heart has been in your sights long before my first breath." And I would love to just start our worship this morning recognizing that. And so if you guys could all stand and come forward if you feel led to, we'd love to see you down here and all worship together as a body. The song is Run to the Father. I've carried a burden for too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, I'm laying it down, and I know that I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a searching, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 oh. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. Your son for redemption, the price for my heart. I don't have a context for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a searching, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, oh. Your sights long before my first breath, running into your arms, running to life from death. I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out, just as I am. You pull me in, and I know I need you now. I run to the Father, fall into grace. Done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a searching, the soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, fall into grace. Done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart found a searching, my soul found a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, again and again and again. We have not done this song in a long time. This is called Alive Again. Carry me away, my Lord. Bring me to a peaceful land. Take me where the honey flows. Lead me by familiar hands. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Hold me inside your arms. Tell me that you won't let go. Show me where the blessings are. And there is where we build our home. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Ooh. Ah, thank you, Josh. Ooh, ah. All right, Josh, join me. Come on. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Carry me away, my Lord. Bring me to a peaceful land. Take me where the honey flows. Lead me by familiar hands. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. Ooh. Ah. Ooh, ah. Ooh. Ah. Ooh, ah. It's all I know. You make me feel alive again. 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 Let's give them a woo! 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 Oh, thank you guys this morning for showing up and hanging out and singing and clapping along. As you can see, we got some people missing from our team this morning. Pastor Jason feeling a little under the weather, Donna feeling a little under the weather, and we feel a little more exposed up here. So having you guys come in and just hang out with us and sing along with us, it means so much to everybody. Just thank you guys. This is Sparrows.
The sparrow's not worried about tomorrow or the troubles to come. The lily's not thinking about the seasons, the drought or the flood. The tree that's planted by the water isn't fazed by the fire. why should I be? 'Cause you take good care of me. You take good care of me. You know what I need before I even ask a thing. And you hold me in your hands with the kindness that never ends. I'm carried in your love no matter what the future brings. And you take good care of me. The sun's not worried about the winter, 'cause soon it will pass. The light's not thinking about the darkness or the shadow it casts. A heart that's planted in forgiveness doesn't dwell in the past. So why should I be? 'Cause you take good care of me. You take good care of me. You know what I need before I even ask a thing. You hold me in your hands with the kindness that never ends. I'm carried in your love no matter what the future brings. 'Cause you take good care of me. I know there must be more, but I can't get past your kindness. I know there's got to be more, but I can't get past your goodness. I know there must be more, but I can't get past your kindness. I know there's got to be more, but I can't get past your goodness. And you take good care of me. You take good care of me. You know what I need before I even ask a thing. And you hold me in your hands with the kindness that never ends. I'm carried in your love no matter what the future brings. Sing that again. 'Cause you take good care of me. You take good care of me. You know what I need before I even ask a thing. And you hold me in your hands with the kindness that never ends. Carried in your love no matter what the future brings. And you take good care of me. One, two, three, four. Sometimes on this journey, I get lost in my mistakes. What looks to me like weakness is a canvas for your strength. And my story isn't over, my story's just begun. And failure won't define me, 'cause that's what my Father does. And failure won't define me, 'cause that's what my Father does. Lay your burdens down here in the Father's house. Check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. You're in the Father's house. Arrival's not the end game, the journey's where you are. You never wanted perfect, always wanted my heart. And the story isn't over if the story isn't good. Failure's never final when the Father's in the room. And failure's never final when the Father's in the room. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. You're in the Father's house. Prodigals come home, the helpless find hope. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room. Prison doors fling wide, the dead come to life. Love is on the move when the Father's in the room. Miracles take place, the cynical find faith. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Jericho walls are quaking, strongholds now are shaking. Love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. And love is breaking through when the Father's in the room. Ooh, lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. Ooh, you're in the Father's house. One more time. Lay your burdens down. Ooh, here in the Father's house, check your shame at the door, 'cause it ain't welcome anymore. You're in the Father's house.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, sorry, that seemed a little abrupt. Things are changing as we're going along this morning, so I'm going to ask everybody to hold on. You guys can actually go back to your seats and have a seat, because I have been asked to give a message this morning, and I know that I threw this team off. First of all, guys, please, can we give it up for this team? These wonderful people. I love every one of these guys. Man, you guys, I love you guys so much. They were talking to me and just preparing me for this message that I'm going to be giving. Love you guys so much. Thank you. All right, so, and man, some lights would be really, there we go. Oh, that's so much better, isn't it? Children's Church. All right, thank you, Miss Connie. I'm not the pastor, as you guys can tell. So here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say this because I've been talking to some people on the team. I'm the worship leader here at the Lighthouse Church, so I don't know if any of you guys have been here before. I don't know if you guys ever knew that that's the title that they bestowed, is worship leader, and I've had a hard time. And I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to be really vulnerable during this message this morning to let you guys know that I don't carry the weight of that word lightly. Leadership to me is a pyramid. I didn't even know I was going to say this. If you look at a pyramid, So it's a triangle, basically, all right? And we look at leadership as a triangle, and we might place people on top of that pyramid, and everybody else is kind of underneath them, right? And that's how a lot of us look at leadership and what leadership looks like. Leadership does not look that way. What we want to do is we want to turn that pyramid on its side. And the leader is the one that's going out before everybody else and influencing the people behind him or behind her or behind them, whoever they are, whoever that leader is moving this way, and they're creating a way. They're creating a way for other people to move in. I'm a teacher. Leadership in the classroom, it's so simple. It's so easy for me. It really is. It's these kids that come in, they're open-minded, most of them. Some of them a little stubborn. We got to get through them, right? But, so, all my teachers out there, you guys know, man. You guys know. But it's like our heart is in this. We don't decide to teach. It isn't something, we decide to teach. It isn't something that's just kind of placed upon us. This thing has felt from the beginning placed upon me when I walked in to these doors. I think it was August 21st, 9 years ago. So that was 2016. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a pause for a moment. And I'm going to find some of my notes that I have been working on for this. The last time that I was going to give a message was a couple of weeks ago, and I felt like I didn't get a chance to really give all that message. And then so when Jason's like, hey man, I'm sick, it's kind of like, you're the guy, we need you to come in and give the message, and I'm like, oh yeah, no sweat, man, I got this, because I had this whole thing that I worked out last time, and man, I get to fill in all those voids, and I started going through my notes, and I'm like, I said all this stuff. So, but God's been working on me on another thing. So, and part of that is leading with Jesus. So let's go back to leadership. If we turn that pyramid on its side and we're looking at it like this, if we're leading alongside Jesus, then we've got everybody who's going to be following us, right? So we've got to lead with Jesus. If we lead with Jesus, people will follow. How do you lead with Jesus? What does that look like to lead with Jesus? What does that look like? Like, is it the Beatitudes? Is it the Sermon on the Mount? Is that what it looks like? Also, like, look what he did for his friends. Look what he did for you. So leadership, when you look at that role and you're in church and you've been given a leadership role, or it's been bestowed upon you, or it's been something that you've been asked to step up and do, that's a lot of weight. And so I just want to say thank you guys before we get started for allowing me to do that. And I know it's been hard over the past few years. Maybe it looks like we're I don't know what it looks like up here, but inside it looks a little different. So just before we get started, I just wanted to say that. I felt like it was a very important thing to say. Testimony. So I'm going to give you part of my testimony. That's what's going to happen. And the last time I gave the testimony was October of 2023. I was still kind of in a haze. I had taken care of my father, who had died of cancer in 2022, November. I had taken care of him the last few months of his life. I was there 100% of the time, and it was incredibly difficult, and I was kind of walking in a funk. I was walking in a kind of fugue, a fog, for about a year and a half. And so I look back to that time of that testimony, and there's some stuff that I'd really like to refine in it. And we're just going to do part of that today. So for those of you that were here know that I talked about the word testimony. It's a word that if you don't come to church and you've never watched Law and Order, you're not going to know what it means. Right? It's a very churchy word, testimony, and it's also very legalistic word, testimony. So what does it mean? So let's go to the definition. It's a formal written or spoken statement, especially one given in a court of law. A public recounting of a religious conversion or experience. But this is my favorite, was this third one. Evidence or proof provided by the existence or the appearance of something. I love that one. I love that one. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a song that I wrote in 2013. I'm going to play that song for you guys, and I didn't know I was playing that song for you guys until this morning. But this was during a time when I was in the darkest place. But what we've got to do is we've got to do that examination of self. But as we get into that, Revelation 12:11, why are testimonies important? They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago with you guys that came back from the encounter. And they loved not their lives unto their death. They weren't afraid to die because of Jesus. The blood he shed allowed us to live our lives. He bore our guilt, our shame, and our sins. We think that we're important. We really do. We think that we're important people. All of us do. But once we die to that old self, that's when we can be reborn. And that's what it's about. It's about rebirth. I'm going to talk about something weird for a second. If you guys would just, it's going to sound a little strange. Okay, so there's this thing called the Church of Satan. Are you guys aware of the Church of Satan? You guys have heard of them? They've got like a Christmas tree at the park and stuff. And the thing is, the Church of Satan comes out, and I went to AI to get an overview of this. This was like the Google AI thing when you look up something on Google, and it says, so it gave me an overview. The Church of Satan, founded by Anton LaVey, is a religious organization that does not believe in a literal Satan or any deity. Instead, they view Satan as a symbol of individualism, self-empowerment, and the rejection of traditional religious authority. They say they don't believe in Satan. That's it. They don't believe in Satan. That's what they say. We don't believe in an actual literal Satan, right? They don't believe in it. A poet named Charles Baudelaire once said, one of the most striking proofs of the personal existence of Satan, which our times afford us, is found in the fact that he has so influenced the minds of multitudes in reference to his existence and doings as to make them believe that he does not exist. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he doesn't exist. And so the Church of Satan worship themselves. They worship their individuality. They don't worship the devil. What does that look like, though? Worshiping yourself. It looks like worshiping the devil. It looks like worshiping your individuality, your personal freedoms, the things that you want, taking nobody else into any kind of account, not having compassion for others. They'll lie and say that they have compassion for others, but how can you have compassion with others if you're just focused on yourself? Okay, so when I was in my agnostic phase, which I'm not going to call it an atheistic phase, I'm going to call it an agnostic phase. When I was in an agnostic phase, when I wrote this song, I cared more about myself than anybody else. And it showed. And so, as part of that, I was in that sin, that self-worship. Okay? Let's go on. But let's go on to John 9, the blind man's testimony, okay? And I'm going to tie this all together. The Lord made some mud with a spittle, you guys know this, and he rubbed it on the blind man's eyes. Told him to wash in this specific pool, and this made him see again. So sometimes things that we're blinded to, let us see again once we're convicted of those things. So that mud is like the conviction, right? That mud on his eyes was the conviction. So our conviction blinded to what we need to see by what the Lord wants us to see. So, what I was getting at in all of that is during my time, I'm going to go back in time to about 1985. Have you guys heard of a movie called Back to the Future? Okay? There's 2 guitars in that movie that were very important. You guys remember Marty McFly goes in the docks place, has got all the clocks and stuff, and there's this giant amp that's like the size of this wall over here, and he cranks it up, he goes, and he puts on this little stupid Chiquita yellow guitar. It's just silly looking. And he hits this note, and he's like, bang! And the speaker comes out, if, the glasses go on his face like this, he's like, psh, rock and roll, right? So that hit me so hard, you guys, that moment. And then the moment at the end where he's playing that sweet ES-135 Gibson with Marvin Berry. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm a little bit of a nerd, okay? It's fine. I love the Back to the Future. But anyway, I saw that and I wanted to play guitar. I was like, that's it. That's me. That's what I want to do. And then I grew up in a time, my gosh, guys, I'm going to sound so old. I'm going to sound like one of those old Gen Xer guys. Back in my day, MTV played music. But it did. It did, though. I'm serious. They used to play music 24 hours a day. There was a couple of shows. There was this really cool game show called, I'm dating myself here, Remote Control. Who's seen it? Come on, guys. Somebody had not seen, okay, thank you. Glendy, thank you so much. Okay, right on. Remote Control, it was really cool. It was a TV show that was on there, and then, it was like 120 minutes, Headbangers Ball. And then just all this music that I was like, I would just sit in front of this Zenith console TV on the floor, the paneling on the walls. Have you guys seen this? Everybody thinks that we lived in like this really awesome, like hot pink place in the 80s. That did not happen. We had like old brown paneling on the wall. Look at this guy. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. And look, yeah, it's like, yeah, but you guys, I would sit in front of there and I would watch all these rock stars, right? And I was like, oh, dude, that's it. That's the life. That's what I want. That's it. It looked fun. It really did. It looked fun. And as I pause here, sorry, guys. So that I knew right then that was going to be like the trajectory of my life was going to be that. And I begged my father to give me a guitar, and he did. He got me a Japanese Bentley acoustic that, man, I sold it. It got sold in the back of a car. It was in the trunk of a car that got sold. And by the time that car was gone, it's gone forever. But I remember my dad comes home from work and he's like, Danny, there's something out on the front porch. You got to go see this. And I go out there and it's this beautiful Bentley acoustic guitar. It looks a lot like this one. And I think that's why I love this guitar so much. It looked like this one, and I learned how to play Wildwood Flower on it. All right? You guys, there's maybe 2 people here that know what Wildwood Flower is. But I learned how to play Wildwood Flower on it, and my dad saw, oh my gosh, this guy's serious about it, and he bought me all this other guitars, and I had the BC Rich Warlocks and the Crazy Purple guitars and all that stuff. And that was it. You couldn't have told me. And when you would like hear these interviews with these guys, these rock stars, when you would hear this interview, Tom Kiefer of Cinderella, he's just like, I just knew it, man. I just knew it. Like, nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't going to do this. Nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't going to be a rock star. Nobody was telling me that music wasn't going to be what I do. It's going to be my life. And I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, you're just like, preach it, man. I'm like, yes, I'm feeling it, And I'm like, yeah, nobody's going to tell me, man. And so that became my entire focus, everything. It was the only thing that I wanted to do. I played guitar in my room, and I wanted to be a rock star. I didn't necessarily want to be skilled at my instrument, as you guys might see. I just wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be I just wanted to, kick over speakers and dress cool and have like a bandana hanging from my back pocket and have ripped jeans and, I just wanted to look cool. I wanted to be cool. I wanted people to look at me and go, yeah, man, that guy did it. That guy made it. And to me, that's what it looked like. That's what the trajectory of quote unquote succeeding looked like. That was being successful, was to be this. So I joined a band, 17 years old. We're playing St. Louis. We're playing Metal Fest 94. It's ridiculous. We're building up, we're building up, we're building up. Boom, our drummer moves to Jacksonville, Illinois, and it's over, just like that. As soon as we put out our album, it was awesome too. I'm gonna say it was good. I wasn't the most skilled musician back then, but it was pretty good for what it was. And he moved, and it fell apart. And so I broke up with music my first time. It broke my heart, and I'm like, I'm leaving her. She's not treating me right. But it never got out of the back of my head. So I said, you know what? If I can't be a rock star, so 1996 happens. If I can't be a rock star, I'm going to be a disc jockey. Because now, what's the coolest thing to be other than a rock star? It's to be a disc jockey, right? Those guys, those guys with those silky smooth voices. I could still hear it, man. I could, KHTR 103.3 St. Louis's. Modern rock station, KC 95. You remember, Smash. Hey guys, it's Smash, KC 95. Those guys were the coolest. All right, so if I can't be a rock star, well, I'll just be able to meet them. And that did happen. I met some really cool people. I'm not going to brag or anything, but I kind of introduced REO Speedwagon once in front of a big crowd. That was pretty cool. Met Kevin Cronin. That was kind of cool, but it just didn't feel. It was cool while it was happening, but then it's like, I don't know, man. It was cool, but okay, so I could say I did that. What does that do? I introduced REO Speedwagon at the 1996 Montgomery County Fair. Yay! Does that qualify me, guys? Have I made it? I met Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit in 1997. Ooh. Right? I met the Doobie Brothers. They're cool. It's cool to say that, but what is that? What is that? Is that an achievement? Does that mean I made it in radio? No. Does that mean I'm successful in my life? No. That's all vapor, guys. That's all the mirage. That's all the enemy. That's all that is. It's just a mirage. It's just vapor. It's just vapor. So as we move along, I got back into a band 2001. Put together a rig 2002. Played the Blue Note a few times. That was kind of cool, And if you would have talked to me in 1998, I would have said, man, I played the Blue Note. That's kind of successful. That's kind of like making it. Playing the Blue Note a few times, playing a big crowd of people, yada, yada, yada. Did that help? No. Band fell apart? Yes, because that's what they do. They fall apart. Bands fall apart because you're putting all your trust into yourself. That's why bands fall apart. It's because everybody can't get out of the way of themselves. Right? Is anybody getting any of this? Okay, are you sure? Just take a minute. Let's kind of review, okay? I just want to make sure that, your guys say, this guy's insane. He's up there talking nonsense. All right, so anyway, that band, I'll give you a guess what happened to it. Wasn't the drummer. It was the singer. Nobody got along with him. Nobody got along with him. So we quit. So that fell apart. Then another band was born right after that. Guess what happened? Say it. Drummer moved to Australia. Not even kidding. Okay, and I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna brag here. And you guys, this makes me so important. I am so important by saying this. We were a download.com editor's pick. Mic drop. 75,000 downloads. Woo. Whoopie-doo, right? Come on, guys. What does that mean? That don't mean anything. Do you know what it means? It means that we were pretty decent at the music. That's all that means. We played the shows. We got the download.com editor's pick. That's it. It was just a fluke thing. It didn't matter. But, you know, at that time, we're like, oh, man, we're a download.com editor's pick. Now, in 2003, that's a big deal. And it was a big deal. And everybody, you know, we were kind of like, yeah, not to say anything, but did you guys see the front page of download.com? Look on the music there, you know. Band fell apart. Drummer moved. God moved me into where he wanted me, which was at Missouri School for the Deaf. I didn't see this coming. You guys go talk to the assistant principal in Montgomery County R2. His name was Jim Dimbo. If you ever see him or you ever get a chance, send him a message and ask him if he thought that I was going to be a teacher one day. I spent my days in school with an old ratty notebook and a trapper keeper. Glendy, did you have one? Did you guys have a trapper keeper? Who knows what, show of hands, who knows what a trapper keeper is? I love it. Great, all right, so, and I wrote band names on it, AC/DC, Metallica, Cinderella, Guns N' Roses. I drew guitars. That's what I did in high school, other than I kind of got into some fights. I felt like I had to, you know, I had to live this bigger than me. I always had to live bigger than me. And I was always just this vulnerable kid inside. You know? Always just a vulnerable little dude. And I still am. I mean, that's a part of me that I'm never gonna not have, that vulnerable little kid inside. I think he's gonna be inside each and every one of us. Not that kid, but your kid, who you were, you know? So I met this guy, and we're just gonna call him Dude, Man, Bro, okay? Have you ever met those guys? They're like, dude, man, bro. Dude, man, bro. Dude, man, bro, you got a voice. This was 2013. Dude, you got a voice, bro. Man. I'm like, man, I'm like 38 years old, bro. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, no, man. You know, you got that little wisdom in your beard there, dude. You look really cool. You wear these bowling shirts. I wear bowling shirts back. It's terrible. I wore these bowling shirts all the time. You remember? You know, Charlie Sheen was the thing on the show. So everybody had their bowling shirts. Anyway, I'm wearing the bowling shirts and doing this band, and but let's back up a little bit before we hit to that, because that's kind of an important spot. So I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Let's go back to like 2008. I buy an acoustic guitar for the first time. I never sang before 2008. Never sang. I was always too scared to sing. I'm uncomfortable up here right now. Like, do you guys know, I just wanted to do this whole thing with my guitar in front of me. Like, I just wanted to carry my guitar around just because it's kind of like a shield, right? It's kind of like protection. Do you see those guys that stand in meetings like this? It's a nice protection. It kind of protects you from everything. But anyway, 2008, I started writing music. And I started singing it. And I was just doing it at home, and I played the Cherry Street Artisan. Look, Amanda was like, yep, I've been there. Sherry actually came to that show. We opened up for one of the top folk acts in the country. I'm going to bring up a movie. Anybody here? I'm sorry, forgive me, guys. There's a lot of movies that are in this brain of mine. Billy Madison, when they're doing their little thing at the end, and he's playing the recorder, he's like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, he goes, and that guy pulls out this violin and he plays this beautiful music. And then Billy Madison's like, blah, 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 blah. He's good. That was me at that show. I'm like, whew, out of my depth here. But I kept coming back to it because it felt way more real and more vulnerable that way. And it was a way to kind of like channel that vulnerability into songwriting in a way that I never had before. I'd always had a guitar around me. Are you guys with it? Do we need to get up, stand up, jumping jacks? Do we need to do some squat thrusts, burpees? Everybody good? Okay. All right, sorry. But anyway, so let's fast forward to 2013. I finally start going out doing some shows, and I met my dude, man, bro, and I love that guy to this day. I really do. He's a great dude. He's a great dude, man, bro. I tell you. But no, but he was very like encouraging, and he's like, man, no, this is good. Let's do something with it. So we decided to do something with it. And in 2013, I wrote this song that I'm getting ready to play for you guys here in a little bit. And but I got this band together, and it was the best drummers, the best singers, the best guitar players, the best bass player, the best everything. And it was like, okay, this is it. 2015, 40, quickly approaching. Like it's, we're on. Around this time, we're recording what was called the Midsummer's EP by the band was Masters of June. This was it. This was the final thing. I didn't care. I just wanted some kind of something. If we could play some Blue Note shows, if we could open up for rando folk guy, if we could open up for just whoever, just somebody coming through, just some kind of something. I need this recognition. I need this to happen, man. I need this to work out finally. I need this to work out finally. And I poured everything into it and so much into it. And then something happened in December of 2015, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my hand on exactly, and when I say I know what it was God. I'm just saying I can't put my hand on the exact moment. I just remember like, I don't like this, and I'm done. And this has hurt me so much, and I've hurt people in my life because of it. And I've been a bad father because of it, and I've been a bad husband because of it, and I've been a bad friend because of it, and I've been a bad bandmate because of it, and I've been a bad son. Just attach anything to that, acquaintance, whatever. I didn't care about anything else. I just cared about that. And there was something in that, and it just broke me. And I don't know the exact moment that it happened. I don't know what that linchpin was. I don't know what that final tumbler was as I turned that key. I have no idea what that was. But I just walked away. And I do what you do in a breakup. If you break up, you don't go checking their Facebook. What are they doing? You don't drive by their house. Who's in there? Whose car is that? You don't do this. You don't do that kind of thing when you break up with something. When you really break up with something, you walk away. You turn your back, you walk away, you don't go back, and you're done. You're done. You're absolutely done. I sold all my gear except for that guitar right there. Except for that one. But I had like one guitar, but it was like this ridiculously big white thing. I called it a Stormtrooper because it was like, I had like the Empire logo on it. If you guys see, I like white guitars. I always play them up here, but it's like I don't know. It's like it was this big, ridiculous, stupid-looking guitar, and I played it here for a while, and it weighed like 11 or 12 pounds, and it was hurting my shoulder. But anyway, I just didn't want to do music anymore. And then before I came here, so what happened? Do you remember? Let's do a real quick check. What did I do the first time I failed in music? I went to do what? Do you guys remember? DJ. Thank you. I went back to be a DJ. All right. Now, guys, I like country. Country music is fine. I really like some of the artists. Chris Stapleton's amazing. There's some really great country artists, but it's not my thing. You guys might could tell I'm like a little bit of a rock and roller, right? Like, you know, Bad Company. I know about Bad Company. I don't know too much about, like, I really like Hal Ketchum, but I don't know anything about him. You know, I really like Chris Stapleton, but I don't know much about him. So I went to, you guys know Country 96? Yeah. I worked at Country 96 in 2016 before I started coming here. I got a job. I was going to quit my job at the school. I got a job, and it was part-time, and I was like a weekend guy at Country 96, 100,000 watt radio station. This is not nothing. All right, so because Country 96 is that one thing on your, you know, when you're in the middle of nowhere and you hit seek, you always get 95.7. It always happens. That's not nothing. And it's not the greatest radio station, right? But it's pretty good as far as country music stations go. Saturday Night Country Gold was on there, yeah. Red Dirt Friday Night, which ended up being my favorite that I did, and I did that. I did Red Dirt Friday Night. It was awesome. I loved it. That's what I like. That's the country I really like, is that Red Dirt stuff. But anyway, sorry. My ADHD is showing. Let me get a drink. Anyway, so yeah. I'd worked at a radio station for like 10 years in Montgomery and went to Country 96. And the guy there is like, I don't remember you working there. And he's like, but can you just give me the weather or something? And I'm like what, like the forecast? And this was my interview. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, here's your Mix 96 country weather forecast. It's going to be about 76 today, 25 in the overnight low. Oh my gosh, that's a 50-degree drop. Going to be about 45 in the overnight low. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up. We're going to have a slight chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high nearing about 77 degrees. Right now, we have 69 at the KMCR whatever radio station. And the guy's like, I remember you now. I remember you now. Okay, you got the job. And I was like, okay, cool. So got the job. And I'm working there, and I'm taking it very serious, and I'm not playing music, but I'm playing country music, and I'm really starting to like country music. I love Eric Church. I really like him. Anyway, so I'm playing this country music. I'm really digging it. It's really cool. And I got called in one day, and he's like, hey, I need you to come to a meeting. And my boss, Mike, and he's like, I need you to come to a meeting. And I'm like, okay, they're getting ready to cut me loose, you know. You know, I've been in these meetings before, you know. You know, our ad revenue isn't the greatest. We're having to make some cuts. Weekend shifts are going to be the first ones to leave. He says, hey, would you be interested in being our morning guy? Yeah. Okay, so when you guys listen to the radio station, the morning guy, that's the guy. I mean, that's the guy, right? I mean, 100,000 watt radio station, morning guy, was an $8,000 a year raise. $8,000 a year. Now, this is 2016, when $8,000 actually kind of meant something, maybe. You guys remember those days? You remember you got more than 4 bags of groceries for $273? All right, so anyway, he offered me the job. And I was talking to my wife. I'm like, man, I got to do this. And she's like, I think you got to do this. I'm like, I'm going to do this. She's like, I think you're going to do it. And I was like, I think I'm going to do it. And we went to the Botanical Garden in St. Louis. It was a Japanese festival. And it's a really beautiful place to go in the spring. And we go there, and we go to the Japanese festival. And I'm like, you know what, though, man? I've been working with these kids for so long, it's going to be really hard to leave them behind. My kids, you know, my children, my kids at the school. It's going to be really hard to leave them. But sometimes we have to do things. We have to take the call because we know in those moments, dude, how many times have you guys been like, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life? Just yesterday? Yeah. Happens a lot. You're going to regret this. If I don't do this, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out on this thing, and I'm always going to look back to 2016. Summer of 2016, I'm always going to look back and be like, man, I didn't do it. I had a chance. I had a chance to finally do something. Do you think that career would have ended at Country 96? No, you see, I don't think in those terms. That would have been a launch pad to much bigger radio stations, much bigger markets. Who knows? I could be in Chicago, New York, wherever. Biggest markets, LA. Sirius. I could have been a Sirius disc jockey. I was a Sirius disc jockey, but Sirius like the Sirius XM. So there's all these chances, and 100,000 watts, it's not nothing. And anyway, are you guys with me still? Seriously? Do we need to stand up and stretch it? Okay. All right. Sorry. Yep. Stretch out. Take a moment to stretch. There you go, Marina. Thank you. All right. So anyway, ask me a question though. Do I regret it? Not for one iota of a second. As I make the decision to do this, I'm doing it, we're doing it, we're going to the botanical gardens, it's the Japanese festival. We're going in, yay, I got a new job, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be awesome. I look up as soon as I walk in. I see a little deaf boy talking to his mom. That's my baby. Those are my babies. I'm not doing it. That was on a Saturday. On Tuesday, I went up and I told Mike, I said, we need to have a meeting. And I'm sure he's like, Dan's going to take the job. This is where he accepts it. And I was like, I can't do it. There's no possible way. I've got to stay there with those babies. Now, in the midst of all this, it sounds like I'm listening to God, right? It sounds like God's trying to speak to me maybe a little bit. I was an agnostic, quote unquote, at that time. But I even recognized, like, this is bigger than me right here. And I think that was really the first moment where I was like, okay, something is happening here that's bigger than I am. And so I decided to stay at the school. And I had that meeting, and he's like, you're crazy, dude. It's like, I can't believe you're turning this down. We don't just hand this to anybody. We don't just hand this to anybody. I'm like, I don't care. And I put in my notice. And I left in September of that year. Because I was giving up on that, and I was going to focus everything on helping these kids at the school, these deaf kids at this school. They need people that can sign with them. They need people that care about them. So I gave up on all of it. That was the first time of putting myself in front of something else. Putting somebody else in front of myself. I said that wrong. So when I was in Masters June, there's a dude back here, and he's got do-rag on. He's got some kind of shirt on. I don't know, it's being awe of my tism back there, Josh. So he always came to every show. Sherry would come to shows. Josh came to shows all the time. So, and this time I'm feeling pretty decent. Summer of 2016, I'm feeling pretty good, and I've got a Sunday off. It's like August 21st. I got a Sunday off. I'm like, I'm going to go see Josh's band at church. Josh had been asking me a while. Josh, do you remember this? He would send me pictures of donuts. He knows that donuts are Dan's love language. Anyway, he would always send me, he's like, they got some donuts here, man. And so I came in, and I think I purposefully, I don't remember it, like, I remember walking into this sanctuary, but I remember coming in, as the music was starting, and I think that was on purpose because I was like awkward and I didn't want to. And I walk in and I'm like, I'm just going to quietly kind of. I open up and Josh is standing up here. He's like right here. And I mean, as soon as I walk in, he's like, hey! And we ate a donut after he got done. And something happened to me when I walked into this place, and I can't describe it. And I've talked to Pastor Jason about this like 1,000 times. And it was like a net got dropped on me from the ceiling and pulled me and never let me go of this place. And I haven't been released since that day in 2016. But something else happened as I'm sitting out here, and that part of me that had died completely, that music part, something happened, and it was during God's Not Dead, that song. I remember this like, God's not dead, he's surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. And I'm like that song is cool. You know, it was really cool. And the only time I'd been to church in this century was when I worked at an independent supported living home, and it was part of our job to go to church. But you know, there was a song there. It was called "Mighty to Save." You guys have heard us do that one? Oh, I love that song. We're getting there. All right. So anyway, this is going a little longer than I intended. I apologize. So let me recollect my thoughts. Something happened and I got a pull there in that seat. And when we were doing Run to the Father and the lyrics say, my heart has been in your sights long before my first breath. Running into your arms is running from life to life from death. And I feel this pull deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Take me as I am, you know. I forget all the lyrics, but it was really powerful like that. That was like my story sitting out here. And I came forward one day, and I just had this nuclear war going on inside of my chest. Like, it was so big. That war was so big. Like, you would almost like expect everybody in the Tri-County radius to get under their desks because that's how powerful it was. And it was going on inside. And I said, yeah, I'm not fighting this anymore. So when I said I'm not fighting it anymore, what that meant was I am done worshiping myself, because that is truly worshiping the enemy. And that going on in my chest was a war for my soul with the enemy and the Lord. I don't know where you guys are at, but I'm getting ready to do a song. I haven't played this song in front of people, I want to say, November of 2015, November 2015, right before I walked away. Then after this song, I got something else to say, and then we'll invite the team up, and I've got maybe like a little thing for you guys to do, if you'll allow that time this morning. There's no football games today, is there? The Chiefs lost, didn't they? Sorry. Did you hear the groan? I didn't mean to bring up some bad stuff for y'all. MU won? All right, right on. All right. So before Let me see here. I got to find this, guys. I wrote out this thing that really reads like a YouTube video or something, so I'm trying not to do that. But before I came here, before I ever thought I'd be asked to give a sermon, I wrote this song. It was a song, it just kind of fell into my lap. I don't know if you guys are poets or writers or songwriters or anything like that, but sometimes things just fall into your lap. Sometimes you reach up and you grab them, and sometimes they fall directly into your lap, and this one fell directly into my lap, and I didn't write it. I just felt like kind of like this whole sermon, like if you were to ask me what I said, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because this has just been me being obedient to the Holy Spirit. But that's how this song was written. And looking back now, I see what this song is, and what it is it's a prayer. And it's an honest, final look at who I am before all of this. And this was probably, really, guys, I think this might be the last song that I wrote. So I'm going to share it with you. When I walked away from like the music scene and I stepped into worship, I realized just like today that this was a moment of self-examination. You know how we have to examine ourselves? In order to take communion, we have to examine ourselves. So if you guys will do me a favor and understand going into this that I have not sang this song in front of people probably, like I said, for like 10 years. So if you guys can just be patient with me as I do this song. And I'm realizing now that I didn't get the lyrics to Jake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forward some of this to Jake real quick. Sorry, guys, I'm like doing this whole thing. Copy, email. Okay, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to implore you guys to just listen as much as you can. You guys can talk amongst yourselves for a moment. There they are. Whew. All right. Here we go. The song is called Reach. That is way too out of tune for me. I thought, oh, it's not that bad. This is live, folks. There's no auto-tune or any of that stuff going on here. Reach deep inside yourself. A ghost whispered in my ear. Then you could wash away the pain of the last 5 years. Wanting to contemplate, start facing all those fears. Then you could wash away the pain and all these tears. Something is stopping this. Never felt this before. Now I should stay inside and hide like I do when I'm cold. Starting to reach down, looking to pull it all out. Starting to sink and shine, starting to cast the light on all these hidden lies that I tell myself, that I tell myself. Reach deep inside yourself. The ghost whispered in my ear. Then you could wash away the pain and all these tears. Nothing is stopping this. Never felt this before. Now I can stay inside and hide like I do when I'm poor. Starting to reach down, looking to pull it all out. Starting to sink and shine, starting to cast the light on all these hidden lies that I tell myself, that I tell myself. Looking at the skies last night, found myself inside, reaching down, reaching down, reaching down. Reaching down, starting to reach down, looking to pull it all out, starting to sink and shine, starting to cast the light on all these hidden lies that I tell myself, that I tell myself. And that's it. I'll make you hot right there. All right. Woo. I haven't done that song in a long time. I hope that you guys could understand some of the lyrics that were sung, because I think it's important to look at that in the context of today and what we call a self-examination. And I feel that that was the first time that God was calling me to self-examine, to look at myself, to reach down and cast light on things, the hidden lies that we tell ourselves each and every day. because I know we all do. So, self-examination, I have some notes here. It's a spiritual mirror. So it doesn't make you hate what you see, and that's not the goal of it. And the last thing I want to do is like say, guys, you need to look up at a mirror and you need to hate that. I want this to be as positive and uplifting as it possibly can. It's there, that mirror is there because there's a great physician that can heal you. Okay? And so I hope, as we go back to what I was talking about in the very beginning of this, is that leadership. Is that I hope that I have influenced anybody, just somebody, to do that self-examination like I did. My Uncle Larry, God rest him, I love this man so much. In the midst of all this stuff that was going on with these bands and this music and chasing vapor and the hevel that I was going after and everything else that I was going for, he said, he goes, I talked to Jesus the other night, Dan. I was like, oh, did you? Yeah, he had a lot to say about you. And I was like, tell me, Uncle Larry, what did Jesus have to say about me? And he said that until you play music for him, you'll never be fulfilled. I'm not on MTV. Nobody's downloading my music anymore. Download.com was shut down over 20 years ago, guys. The 10,000 views that we had on MySpace, gone. All that vapor, it's gone. What God has allowed me to do is just try for a little bit to show you guys what he's done to me and how he's changed me. Because if you could take me, you could go back and I could have been like Tom Kiefer in Cinderella or any of these guys that I idolize in these bands and, you know, opening up for Metallica or something. Like, no way. My place is here. And so I just hope today that maybe you guys understand what this worship thing is. And worship is, to me, it's that song, Graves into Gardens. And we're going to do that one. I think we're going to do Graves into Gardens because I think that's an important song to do here at the end. And I'm just going to invite you guys to really reach down in yourselves and maybe do that self-examination, not to hate what you see in that mirror, but to ask the great physician to come inside and heal you of that. There's nothing more than I would like is if somebody just felt a little freer today. I know I do, I think. Just sharing this. I don't like saying things like I'm out here and if one soul got saved. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that says if one person got set free of just a little something. Because I don't think that we're here to save souls. I think that we're here to help set people free. And I love each and every one of you guys, and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak this morning. And I know it's a little late. You guys are hungry. And thank you so much. And I love you guys. And we're going to sing a song. And if you got anything, please come up here, write it down. Tack it up to that cross. Do that self-examination. Maybe find that thing. Surrender it to God. If you've got it. Because he's okay with all of your faults. He's okay with it. He knows you're flawed. He knows it. And he just wants you to reach out to him after you reach inside. Love you guys.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures of faith, never enough. Thank you, Dave. And you came along, put me back together. And every desire now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. Woo! And I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Oh Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. And there's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing, nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. One more time. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Yeah. Lord, there's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. You turn graves into gardens. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Let's do it one more time with just the voices. There's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you.
And Lord, that concludes our service. Let's pray real quick, everybody. Lord, as we go out into the week, Lord, help us to just be a mirror of you and your love and grace. And help us to show others that there is nothing truly better than you. And that you do turn graves into gardens and bones into armies. So we give you traveling mercies as you leave today and get to your destination safe. We ask you to give us traveling mercies, and we ask this in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen. Love you guys.
Today is the last